I desire to congratulate Nigerians for attaining a continuous democratic era from 1999 unobstructed. This now implies that democratic governance and a democratic policy is beginning to be part of us. Our Constitution, Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution as 1999 as amended, gives freedom for groups, individuals to protest. You are free to protest and air out your grievances or your expectations of government. And then when you're on protest, you're supposed to be protected so that you will not be molested. But again, the law, for me, or otherwise, did not define accountability. Because you who is going out to demonstrate and you vow to only demonstrate, you will not go beyond demonstration. You are supposed again to ensure that that you become accountable. The fundamental right, chapter 2, chapter 3 of the Constitution also spell out on the fundamental right of individuals, particularly on protests. There is a limit to how you will protest. If a protest extended from just mere protests to vandalization, impunity, and also to loss of lives, the protester becomes at risk. Whatever happens to a protester, as a result of preventing the protester from destruction and also loss of innocent lives, his right is not denied.
Okay.
That is why in the before the commencement of the protests, government stakeholders, religious leaders, traditional rulers were of the opinion that the protest should be shelved and dialogue should take place, so that whatever the protesters have as their complaint, let them come to a round table and dialogue. For fear of the fact that in several protests of Nigeria, it ends up uncontrolled and it leads up to destruction and loss of lives. And well-meaningful Nigerians were concerned about the ability to contain and sustain it as a protest alone, not leading to rioting. But here we comes. I want to commend most trade unions, labor forces for restraining, and I also want to commend the views of Nigerians that it should be more dialogue than protest, for the fact that it may not be controlled. I want to commend the police too for their ability and maturity in handling the protest the way it is, despite the fact that we witness unprecedented destruction and killings of lives, which is very unfortunate, though we did not expect that. Now, for me, I score the protests well. We're still learning. Well, we've made mistakes again. I hope we'll pick up from exceeding from protests to riot. We'll pick from it and have a way of guiding it next when it happens again.
Yeah.
In the protests, that cameras and equipment of journalists were destroyed. Was it the journalists?
No, not necessarily.
I'm talking to you now. Was it the journalists that were violent? We see a place where there's a clash between the security,
yes,
and then the protesters.
Yes.
Just as the protesters cannot contain journalists, most of them are aggressive to the security system.
Yes.
For the fact that the security are using tear gas, you know that in the protests, there were venues the protesters were to go, but the protesters refused to go to those places. They went to places that they're not supposed to go to, and therefore tear gas were used. protection, prevention of rioting and destruction was what the security were using. I don't expect us to begin to judge. And that's why I told you, the journalists whose equipment were destroyed, were the journalists violent? Were the journalists so when you have people coming out to protest, and particularly those coming out to protest do not have the same opinion of protesting. Those coming out for protests are not in conformity. They don't. You don't even know. People just join with different motives. I don't think even the leaders of the protests were in charge of the protests. I'll give an example of the one in Jos. It was going very smoothly, very, very smoothly. Muslim and Christians, no ethnicity in it. They were eating together. Time for prayers, they wait for one another. This one should pray and we continue. Later on, miscreants came in and they started vandalism. How would you then want to bring curfew? So sometimes you can't just say. You must look at the weight on the security forces, whose lives are also in danger, just like the journalists' lives that are in danger. You can watch and say, what are the emotional attitudes of the protesters? What are they saying? Were they complying? Were they in the right venue? Were they in the place they're supposed to be? You need to watch those ones. Lord, we don't have to use it. You see, Nigeria is a very heterogeneous country. People are coming with heterogeneous opinions.